You can rebuild an entire system, deep dive for hours, and solve problems most people avoid. But somehow, replying to a short email feels impossible. That's not random and it's not a contradiction. For a lot of autistic and ADHD adults, small tasks hit the brain way harder than big ones. And once you understand why, this pattern finally makes sense instead of just making you feel broken. There's a free Why Small Tasks Break Your Brain self-assessment link below if you want to see exactly what's getting in your way. I'll tell you more about that later, but first, let's talk about why you can handle big tasks but don't do so well with the small ones. Deep focus and monotropic thinking. Autistic brains often love deep focus on one thing. That can often lead to hyperfocus, something shared with ADHD brains. So when you get a big task that has clear guidelines, it's like a high-speed train pulling out of a station. You're on one track, moving as quickly as your brain will go, and you're not stopping until you reach your destination. Or someone interrupts you and you smash your computer and bolt to the bathroom to throw up your spleen and whatever was left of your dignity. That's why big tasks pull you in. Tiny things like responding to a text message, interruption to your focus. Not to mention a jolt to your autistic inertia, which wants to get the thing done. So your brain resists.
I got you, buddy. You hang in there while I sit back like a Mac, eat shrimp like a pimp, and completely shut it down.
Not because the task is hard, but because it's not letting you use your natural thought rhythm. So a bunch of tiny things that are disconnected, no chance to focus, no chance to deep dive. It's just mental clutter. For my autistic brain, there's mental preparation for anything I do. So I have to ask, is the thought, time, and preparation worth it? That's how it is for my brain. I don't just sit down and write an email. I need to make sure it's quiet. I'll be able to actually finish the email. I won't have interruptions while I'm focused on that. I don't have the sun blinding me through the window and smacking me in the eyes while I'm writing something I don't really enjoy. I need to make sure my brain is clear from any past things that might be creeping up too. I have to really actively focus because my brain will play tricks. It'll bring in things I don't need right now, like worrying about the battery on my mouse every single time I go to use my computer. Past experiences, little unnecessary things that clog up my brain, like the battery on my mouse. So in order to unclog it, I have to use cognitive energy. There's effort to move my brain out of that one thing and into the one I actually need to do. So it's not that you can't focus. It's that your focus has a more narrow scope than other people. But that's okay, because that means you can get in there and really get things done on things other people might find too big. It's a processing difference, but also makes you confusing to others. He just revamped our entire payroll system, automated it, and saved our company trillions of dollars. But he can't reply to my email? Task switching struggles. If you can spend an entire afternoon reorganizing your living room, or bookshelves by genre, author, color, and mood, but can't send a 3-sentence email, or if you've ever asked yourself, why are small things so hard for me? Ask myself that almost every day. It turns out your brain is actually pretty normal, but you're struggling with executive function.
What's that?
Executive function is what helps you start tasks, stay on track with them, organize and prioritize steps, plan ahead, and shift or transition between things. Now, it's well documented that autistic brains often struggle with executive functioning. Same with ADHD. So small tasks usually means lots of switching gears, lots of task switching, and doing that fast and sometimes without fair warning, and possibly with some interruptions sprinkled in there.
Did someone say something about interruptions? Because I have a track record of breaking things when I'm interrupted. Just throwing that one out there, letting the cat lick it up.
Here's the thing. A lot of autistic people can do this. A lot. Sure, maybe they're more efficient when they don't jump around all the time, but they still can remember when they have those interruptions and go back to what they were doing. For neurodivergent people, that can look different. Getting started takes us energy. Stopping takes us energy. Changing to another thing and getting started, you got it. Energy. Lots of it. And when we have very limited energy supplies and a lot of autistic fatigue, it's a struggle. So give us a big thing we can do, and we'll get in there. Give us a bunch of small ones, prioritizing them, thinking of the steps for those tasks that seem small, then starting. We might do it, or we might freeze, shut down, and then break something important.
Oh, you're definitely going to smash something important. And expensive.
Shut up. I am not. I broke one iPad one time.
And a food processor. And a blender. and a dishwasher door. But, a long time ago. Just give it time, buddy. Just give it time.
More on that in other videos about autistic fatigue. I'll link them below. But it's not the same for us all. So the next time you're like, why didn't you take out the trash? It's not one step for someone autistic. First, it's, what's it like outside? Oof, looks chilly. So I have to put on a coat. And I don't really like the whole hot, cold, hot sensation. So have to mentally prep. And then, well, since I'll be out there, what else should I do on outside? Check the mail. Hide from neighbors? Okay, in and out, fast. Oh, also recycling. Okay, let me sort all of that. Wait, I have other stuff to do today. This is taking too long. So let's just do it later. This is the exact pattern we built our small tasks self-assessment around. It helps you figure out what's actually tripping you up when a task looks small but feels impossible. A lot of people assume it's procrastination or motivation. This shows you what's really going on so you're not just guessing anymore. If you want to check it out, it's linked below. Small tasks have hidden costs. A lot of small tasks aren't actually small for autistic brains. We're told they're small, so we've internalized that from the time we were little. But when someone says, "Can you make that call real quick? You just need 2 minutes." Here's how that sounds to a lot of autistic brains. Oh, cool. So I call. What are they going to ask first? Okay, if they say that, I'll say this. Wait, I want to find Dan. What if he's not even there? Call again later? What time is later? Okay, now I need to sit down and wait for 37 minutes. And then I'm waiting, making sure not to miss that time. Difficult to start anything else while I'm just waiting, but I don't want to just sit there. But what things will fit in the next 34 minutes now? The challenges with time, and like we've already mentioned, executive functioning, then combined with communication that comes with a lot of little tasks, and it's a recipe for lots of time in the bathroom. That's because these small things usually take cognitive, emotional, and social energy. It's hidden to everyone except our autistic nervous system and our brains.
Plenty more where that came from.
So you hear emails, we hear surprises and uncertainty. Not even just the responses, but the time we need. Is there a way to limit the amount of daily emails we receive? Maybe pace them out gradually? You think quick errand to the store. We hear sensory overload, people and small talk, random dinging sounds in the background, not to mention other people's interruptions that could happen.
How about a quick stop there?
Here's another one. You think quick cleanup, maybe of the living room. I see clutter, overwhelm, and unclear systems.
Especially since I get butt cramps when other people move my stuff.
So it's not that I can't do it. It's just not small. There's nothing small about the energy to mentally decide which thing comes first in cleaning. Should I first dust it all and then vacuum? Need time to recategorize my collection of syrups. Then I'll reorganize my books by color, genre, and mood.
I feel tired just thinking about this.
So when your brain says, nope, shut it down, walk away, it's usually trying to protect you from overwhelm. Make sure you have the energy for what it takes. And sometimes that overwhelm was caused by you. Your ideas, your clutter, physical and mental clutter. Yep, I do that to myself daily. So it can be hard getting started, and it makes big tasks often feel safer. Small tasks can feel like stepping on a Lego, barefoot, and then being kicked in the neck by a goat. If I had $1 for every time I was kicked in the neck by a goat. Why this matters and what to try instead. Small tasks might really suck a lot of the time, but the truth is they get a lot better once you stop guilt-tripping yourself and figure out how to work with your brain. So grab our executive function guide. We have a lot of ideas for things to adjust. Here are a couple to start you off. Make the start smaller. Instead of saying, respond to emails, start with open email. Sometimes your brain relaxes once the mystery is gone. Starting can be hard when you're worried about unknowns. And then give smaller frameworks.
I'll give this 5 minutes and see how it goes.
Reduce task switching. Block your time to reduce interruptions from bouncing around. Starting and stopping is hard for autistic brains, so cut those changes by planning your time in blocks. If you can handle massive projects but freeze on tiny things, you don't need to beat yourself up anymore. You aren't broken or lazy. You're working with a brain that needs something different, and understanding that helps you shift to working with your brain instead of battling it. Grab the free Why Small Tasks Break Your Brain self-assessment to get started on that. It's simple, practical, and built for autistic brains. If any of these sounded familiar, drop a comment and tell us. And for more ideas and learning for your unique brain, watch this video next. Thanks, bruh.
Okay.
All of it. I'm literally going to shut us completely down. We're going offline.